Welcome back to Primetime. We've got championships on the line tonight as we begin our 4-week Women's Championship Belt Defenders, as well as the Eliminator Classic for the Tag Team Championships. A whole lot of action also along those lines coming to your way as well. Well, we're kicking off the Tag Team Classic Eliminator as the LWO phase through our stage to kick off tonight's action. Cruz del Toro.
The following contest is a tornado tag team match. Making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 365 pounds. Joaquin Wild and Cruz del Toro, the LWO.
You heard that right, the LWO in the house for this matchup. Joaquin Wild, Cruz del Toro. A unit that's not been seen here in IPW, but in the Eliminator, every and any team is viable, can compete for a spot to face the Usos and cash out for that championship. Speaking of cashing out, it's all about a 10 down under.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 426 pounds. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, 8-10 down under.
We've been really impressed with what Grayson Waller can offer here in IPW and giving him this shot, giving this team the opportunity to compete in the Eliminator. It's going to be interesting to see if these two can pop off together and really hit that shot and pick up the victory here against the LWO to kick off tonight's episode of IPW Primetime. They're certainly feeling themselves as they enter the ring to get into tonight's open bout. And, well, we've got another tag team eliminator through this show as well. And realistically, you look at the final prize, it is going to be a triple threat tag team matchup at Cash Out. The best of Primetime's tag division and the best of Breakdown's tag division. Now in these eliminators, you may notice it is not standardized tag team rules. Oh, no. With how IPW is and how our tag team matches typically end in countout, we've eliminated that factor. Great choice by our general managers to do that as well. So tornado tag rules will be applying throughout the entire tournament, and that kind of forces teams to show a little bit more unity in working together, forced to constantly be in action, forced to constantly have each other's back. It's less about the synergistic maneuvers and more about the aiming to win and working together to secure a victory that could be pretty hard to not be in top of. Now, obviously, in a tornado tag situation here in IPW, there is no DQ, no countout. And that's coming into great effect here as Cruz del Toro slams the back of Grayson Waller into that kendo stick. Meanwhile, Joaquin sends Theory on a ride. That German suplex perfectly executed. And this is now the LWO taking advantage of two grounded opponents. Nice standing shooting star there from Cruz del Toro. A slash from Joaquin goes for the pin as Cruz calls up Waller. Rolls the outside as well. Meanwhile, Theory sent running as a nice backbreaker there, connecting from Waller's offense. And we know how very big as a standing solo from Cruz del Toro comes flying through. The kendo stick shots, though, even harder from Theory connecting. But we know how innovative Grayson Waller's offense can actually be. And in this matchup so far, he's not been really able to land any of it. Good block there at a dropkick from Cruz, as well as a shot from Joaquin. But he eats a shoulder breaker as Theory has Del Toro up. Power bombs him down. And maybe give a little bit of an assist there to Joaquin for launching his partner into the mat with that punch. But hey, it isn't working out for the A-Town. That's a snap. A skull-crushing finale type maneuver there. Just extreme velocity into the canvas. Goes Waller's head, and there's a 450 splash. Joaquin looking for the win. Gets the 2 as Del Toro flattens Theory. He's out of the picture right now. Baseball bat shot misses. Big boot does not from Waller. He ducks the grab, and he's caught now. Caught. Fisherman's Buster brings him down into the pin. Del Toro trying to get the win. A kick out needed, and certainly delivered here by Waller. The problem is he's in the drop zone, and he's going to get hit. Corkscrew splash from Del Toro into the pin. Nearly gets the win, and this is an issue. The big shots are landing here for the LWO. Theory has been kind of neutered. He's had no real run of offense. Waller has had the best shots, but Theory now hooks the leg. That's a nice neck breaker there as Waller hits that butterflying DDT onto Joaquin. Goes for the pin. A failed pinfall attempt there for Theory, who's now looking to end it maybe. Up, no, not going to get him up on his shoulders. No A-Town down there for Theory. Instead, he is taken down. Waller, big DDT, planting Joaquin. Meanwhile, Del Toro trying to get the win onto Theory, but he is sent running. Waller trying to empty the ring, trying to give his team the best shot of winning. He sends Joaquin running, rolling through. Cutter! Hits him with the stunner, sorry. Down for the pin. Del Toro's out, and whoa, nearly the victory early on in this matchup for Grayson Waller and Theory. This is where Waller shines. Isolated opponent. He gets to be brash. He gets to be cocky, landing them unprotected shots to the back of the head. Onto Joaquin Wilde. Meanwhile, Theory's busted open Cruz del Toro on the outside. Steel Step's going to be a good weapon there for Austin, as he's just going to keep slamming his opponent into it. Meanwhile, inside the ring, schoolboy pin. Rope break called. Joaquin's not going to get the win that easily. Instead, going to have to go for something else, but Theory's into the picture. Picks him up. Oh, a spinning neck breaker, I believe. Perfectly executed there by Joaquin, but he's caught. Flatliner from Theory. That rolling attack still prevalent, but he is in the walking path of Cruz del Toro, who slams that kendo into his back, and Theory and Waller gonna make them pay. Super kick caught. Joaquin fires back, but a pinfall nearly. No. Atomic drop. Monkey flip nearly into them stomps. It's an innovative maneuver there by Joaquin. Not something I've seen too often. Shining Wizard from Del Toro connects in the corner. He flattens Waller down for the pin. A 2 count comes through. And an immediate kick out on the near fall. Big pump kick from Theory. The action is not slowing down there any second right now. Del Toro fighting with Waller, but he is caught now. Theory back in the picture. hooks the leg, down with the neck breaker. That oosh type maneuver, pinfall attempt, Del Toro down, Joaquin coming back in. Not in time to break it up, it forces his partner to kick out. Meanwhile, STO there from Waller. Flattens Joaquin on entry. Del Toro back up, as is now Theory. The super kick connects Theory. Double, no, not double underhooking him. Instead, just pulls Del Toro through to the big shot. A kick out needed and delivered by Del Toro. As Austin eats the kendo from his partner. The super kick connects flush onto Del Toro. Cruz empties the ring as Waller goes to battle with Joaquin. Joaquin sent running. Del Toro staring down, chasing down Waller. Can't connect instead. Butterflies into that DDT. It's like a butterfly bulldog. It's an interesting maneuver more than anything from Waller. It's that innovative offense and good work there by Theory to save his partner from hitting the ring post. Electric chair position up. German suplex on the outside. And Cruz Del Toro's head's been ricocheted off of the LED apron. As has Joaquin's off the LED ring post. And you can see the mark right on your screens where Joaquin's head collided with the ring post. A lot of damage being done to our arena. And this is only match number 1 tonight. Big power slam by Theory on the inside of the ring. Joaquin swinging for the fences with the kendo stick. LWO controlling the ring. Nice senton there by Del Toro. Joaquin scaling to the top. He's calling his target. Eyes on Waller. Misses with the splash. Inside the ring, Theory catches a big-time maneuver from Del Toro. And Fisherman Buster slamming the head into the mat. And Del Toro, you've got to feel, is going to go for the pin. Waller's slowly making his way in. Breaks it up in time. This match rolls on still. As Waller avoids the big shot from Del Toro. He tries to collide. Can't do so. Instead, he's sent running. Rolling. Stunner. And Waller's into the pin. Theory hooks up Joaquin, plants him. And there's the win for A-Town Down Under. Theory and Waller really had no real control in the early goings. The LWO dominated, hit the big time maneuvers onto Waller. But in the end, Theory absorbed all the main attacks. And so hitting these big maneuvers onto Waller weren't ever going to be enough. And as such, A-Town Down Under survived the beating, survived the lashings, fire back with their big shots. And well, from there, they were capable of winning this match with ease. Here you see it. The setup onto Del Toro. That big butterfly bulldog. And then here Theory hooking up Joaquin. Biding his time into that Fisherman's Buster.
Here are your winners, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, A-Town Down Under.
And there you have it. A-Town Down Under. Victorious here in the Tag Team Eliminator. They'll advance to face a difficult opponent next week. Well, I've just been given word that A-Town Down Under will face the Headbangers next week. Certainly a step up in competition from the LWO.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from London, England, Blake.
Well, this is the person we haven't seen in quite some time. The original Dual Dream winner alongside William Ospreay, formerly known as Mariah May. Blake Monroe returns to IPW here tonight. This is an interesting bout for her. As well, the competition, it's being touted as a #1 contendership match here for the Women's Television Championship here in IPW. So Fallon and Henley are going to keep a close eye on this bout. Remember, Henley in a title defense tonight for the Undisputed Women's World Championship. In fact, she will be defending the belt all through our build-up to Cash Out. But tonight, the focus is on #1 contendership for next week's championship bout.
And her opponent from Boynton Beach, Florida, Kalani Jordan.
Blake Monroe, Kalani Jordan, one of them will have an epic opportunity next week to face the champ for the belt. And honestly, the competition in this women's division, it's ramping up here on Primetime. Bear in mind, all the belts currently held by Fatal Influence here on this side of IPW. And you look at Breakdown in particular, obviously we've seen a new champion crowned in Julia, dethroning the irresistible force Nia Jax. There's going to be certainly some repercussions there, you have to feel, from Jax, but not in the near future, I've heard. There's plans, I think, by Solo Sikoa to keep Julia and Jax away from each other, and potential rumors that Nia wants a piece of the Ruby belt. She wants to be a 3-division champion. Something not done yet here in IPW. Obviously, the closest is currently Fallon Henley with 2 belts to her name. And I don't think she's going to be dethroning the women's tag team champions for some particular reason. Mixed tag would be interesting because I'm intrigued who she would get as a male partner for that belt. But obviously, the champions right now, Bianca and Montez, fresh off a victory at our live event down the rabbit hole. But yes, as we focus back in on this matchup, Blake Monroe taking the early advantage here against Kalani Jordan. Pops her up into that Uranagi. Interesting maneuvers coming out from Blake here, who's continuing to dominate a very fresh upstart in Kalani Jordan. Dropkick misses there. As Kalani roll-up attempt, hooks the legs. Gonna try and get the win, but not even a 1 count comes off that. Irish whip sends Blake running. And yeah, a nice Hurricane Rana takedown from Kalani, who rolls through with the senton to follow it up. The current TNA Knockouts champion, Kalani Jordan, keeping the pressure on as these two ladies tie up, as the current NXT North American champion versus the TNA Knockouts champion. It's an interesting prospect to have Kalani Jordan as the top woman in TNA, considering how fresh she is, I should say. Similar length of time competing to the likes of Blake Monroe, I believe. Monroe, obviously, very young in her career, very talented. The Brit has very much transcended the wrestling career for herself as a glamour. Becoming that moniker, becoming a AEW Women's World Champion in that time. The only woman to be booed in her home country. It's an interesting thing to note that. Obviously, at AEW All Out, her versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm received the home crowd cheer, even though it was Mariah's home. But that's not to bother us. That's a big Samoan drop there from the Brit. She sends Kalani flying down, takes the back, and send her running into the corner. Mariah putting Kalani up top. Follows her up there. This can never be good. There's a big super Hurricane Rana off that top rope, connects down for the pin. 1 and a 2, but not gonna be that 3. As Mariah or Blake continuing to apply pressure. Kalani's really been out of the picture, but Mariah hooks her up, plants her down. That Future Shock SDDT gets the 2 count here on Kalani. No Mayday just yet. Perhaps that's not in the Glamour's picture. That back elbow shot from Kalani, though, is. Into the pin, Kalani goes, brushing the face with the elbow and wrist. Shot drop misses. Drop kick doesn't. It's a prolific weapon that Blake Monroe possesses, is her drop kicks. From high elevation, she utilizes them very efficiently. The boots very much perfectly placed to the face or the chest, depending on what's needed. Whether it's a shotgun type attack or just a very prolific bust your face open type shot. And Blake heads up top. Not going to go flying off there. Instead, springboard hits. No, misses the drop kicks we were talking about. That would have been to the chest, the guts sort of area. That's a face buster and a half from Kalani. Jordan keeping the pressure on here. Blake's struggling, and I apologize, going to keep referring to her as Mariah May, because that's what she's formerly known as and still known as to me in IPW. But Blake stares at the camera. The Glamour charges in, misses the shot. Kalani fights back. Jawbreaker. And that just sends Blake crashing into the mat. The pinfall attempt here. And a kick out. Gonna come through. Kalani not slowing down now. Takes the back once again. Hoglogs. Blake there. As the leg just sends whiplash down the back of May. The big splash misses. Kalani crash landing. Blake trying to capitalize on the maneuver. Trying to steal the match. Can't get it. Instead, it's a kick out from Jordan at 2. Blake looking maybe for a big shot here. Kalani trying to get out of it. Does manage to do so. A kick to the knee. Causes separation, but boom, a big shot from Blake. And the one from Kalani. Trading big blows here. And our second bout of the evening. It's hard to believe we're only 2 bouts in. That opener certainly delivered on a thrill factor. This one's starting to get there as well. Monroe caught. Kalani, a shot to the back, takes the waist and then down with the hog log. That leg across the chest. A big shot. Blake fires with one of her own big shots. And a judo type finishing maneuver there onto Kalani. The boot connects. Double underhook. Down with that Future Shock DDT. Planted Kalani for the pin. And no, nearly gets it. But it's a near fall on the effort. As Jordan kicking out in time. Like, this battle has been pretty epic. Obviously, it's a good sort of sign that our television championship bout will deliver next week, because the elbows dropped. off the top there by Blake Monroe. As Monroe, big stunner across that top rope. We saw obviously a stunner pick up a victory in our previous battle here tonight on Primetime as the Glamour's getting fired up. Kalani gets back up, pops up, taunting on the outside. Maybe a mistake as the Glamour's going to make her pay with some kicks to the side. Nice shots there, connecting. As now she begins to work over the legs. Kalani has been kind of stifled here by the Glamour. As May ascends to the top once more. This time flies through with the drop kick. The boots connect. The pinfall comes through. Down for the count is Kalani as the count goes to 2. But that's all it's going to get. It's only going to get there to that 2. Now Jordan needs to fire back up. Fire or find that fuse that's needed to spark a comeback into this battle. May has been pretty solid. Avoids that maneuver and comes back with an inverted DDT. And now Ariva Dirchny connects as Kalani's planted into the mat. May into the cover, gets the win, and that is the wrong song to be playing at this win. Because Monroe, no affiliation to Fatal Influence, but maybe it's mind games already towards the champ. Well, one thing's for sure. Blake's gonna have to saddle up next week to face Fallon Henley. And that's gonna be one hell of a ride. Can the Glamour stop the cowgirl? The prodigy of IPW. The double champ. That is a question that we'll see an answer next week. In her return, Blake Monroe nets the big victory here over Kalani Jordan. With this win, we've got more big boy battles heading your way. A bout in the television division. In the men's side of things. It's coming up next for you guys.
Here is your winner, Blake!
As Blake Monroe celebrating in victory. A fantastic performance here. Let's move swiftly into that television bout. Well, as stated, men's action now for you. It's time for the Sinister Great Muta, the legend.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from the land of the rising sun, weighing in at 230 pounds, the Great Muta!
Well, Great Muta. Certainly a big star in here in IPW. In the build-up to City Limit, this man certainly put on some big performances to rise up the rankings. And well, he got himself into a pretty decent spot. As for this man, well, he was involved in that 8-man ladder match. Muda barely missed out.
And his opponent from Kyoto, Japan, weighing in at 220 pounds, Shinsuke Nakamura!
Which is why we now have these two Japanese legends, icons of wrestling. Strong style on display for this one as well. They're going toe to toe. And well, we've got a new television champion. I dare say the Fiend will obviously want his rematch soon. One of these two men might be, though, whoever the champions is after that rematch, their next opponent. Nakamura, eager to maybe reclaim old glory for himself. As for Muda, well, he just wants to get there. He wants the shot he rightfully deserves. Well, to get it, you gotta go through someone who's higher ranked than you, and well, Nakamura is such. As we ready ourselves for this battle, you gotta look at this as a evenly matched up bout. As you got Nakamura, the bringer of strong style, and the Great Muda, just the innovator of Japanese wrestling. Boots caught, Nakamura kick to the back, now going to follow through, charging through, nice! German off the ropes. It applies pressure, and this is what Nakamura loves to do. Wear his opponent down. That's an armbar applied. Turns it into a leg as well. Leg and arm trapped. Submission maneuver. Not going to get the victory. Instead, a big knee to the gut as Nakamura is just slowing down his opponent here. Not giving the Great Muda any chance to really start rolling. Irish whip, arm drag, take down there by Shinsuke. And this is early pressure being applied by Nakamura. Good pressure in wearing down an old vet is to just constantly apply pinfalls attempts. Constantly just toss them about. Because it causes you to lose your breath pretty easily. Because you're throwing them, causing a contraction in the lungs for each sort of toss around. Now Nakamura, though, going to be on the receiving end. No, not for much longer, I should say. As he fights off of Muda. Muda fires a shot back. Now going to grab hold of him, sends him running. Nakamura eats a Hurricanrana. And this is a very back and forth sort of affair to start this off. Nice spin kick to the gut from Muda as he drops Nakamura down. And as we were saying, you expect Nakamura maybe to grind the Great Muda down. Hit them big shots to the gut, because that will wind him. It'll take the breath from out underneath him. And that's the sort of thing you need to do here against Muda, because if you're unaware, the biggest gimmick about the Great Muda is he keeps mist in his mouth, ready to just spray it on you as and when needed. Nakamura caught. No, gonna fire back a shot. Not caught. Instead, it is Muda caught. Eats that driver into the mat. Nakamura sends him running. The count is slowly escalating up towards a potentially match-winning number as the count reaches now 9. Nakamura watching on as the count's broken in time. Muda rolls in at 10 as Nakamura asks for more, and he is certainly going to get it. Muda transitioning, Kimura locked in. Rope break called there by our official. Muda's firing back some big shots. Forcing Nakamura into a difficult situation now, but Nakamura fires back with his own big shot. That backdrop suplex could be effective. And this is even more effective as he fires the Kinshasa. Down for the count. Muda could be done and dusted. Kicks out in time. But Shinsuke still keeping the pressure on. Firing that knee up. Ready to strike. Backbreaker. Forcing Muda into a difficult position. Is able to avoid the follow-up shot from Nakamura. Takes the back. Irish whip sending him running. Hip toss, sorry there. It's always easy to mix up a hip toss and an arm drag. Both involve the arm most of the time, but it's that hip movement that changes the tempo. But that's a Shining Wizard. Eerily similar to how our women's world champion finishes matchups, but the innovator of the Shining Wizard, the Great Muda, looking to secure victory, can't get it. And you look at both these men's finishes, the Shining Wizard, eerily similar to obviously a Kinshasa. It's both knee shots or knee strikes to the face. Kinshasa a bit more freely able to be used versus a Shining Wizard, which is more or less the same thing, let's be honest. Typically the Shining Wizard's used to an opponent with a knee on the mat. Kinshasa can be used from a standing elevated position, and that's kind of what we typically know it for. Meanwhile, Schoolboy here, I'm surprised Muda isn't in the ropes, is able to reverse the position. Down for the count is Nakamura. Goes for the 2. And a kick out force there. Nakamura's not going to trade positions in that one. Instead, survivability is the name of the game. But currently he's not surviving too well as he is on the receiving end of some big punishment here from Muda. Springboard. Chop to the skull. The big shot connects here. There's a Great Muda. Continuing to work down and work on. Nakamura roll up. Could this steal the win? 1. No. But it does keep Nakamura in a... Well, gives him an opportunity to get back in. Up. Down. Facebuster. Planting Muda down as Nakamura's fighting back. Shot after shot connecting. Chops out the leg. The yes kicks come through. I had a feeling that could have been a setup to Shining Wizard. It's not. It's going to be a shot to knock out Muda, but it doesn't do its job. Instead, Muda gets back up and he eats some big shots. These ones, big boots to the chest and then the head. Nakamura, deadly with those shots. Goes for the cover. Gets a 2. Muda surviving. Pure instinct, maybe. But this is the kill shot. Kinshasa, no! Muda avoids it. He ascends to the top. Muda salt connects. Nakamura feeling the pain as the pinfall comes through. Down for the count. Shinsuke able to kick out. In that one brief glimpse at potential of a win there for the Great Muta. Catching. Kind of a gut buster there onto Nakamura. He avoids the big shot as well from Shinsuke. Shinsuke fires one back. Oh, Saito suplex. And I have a feeling the master of strong style has had enough. Shinsuke is beckoning Muta back to his feet. Charges in. And delivers a big shot. Nakamura's feeling himself for some rhythmic vibrations. The boot to the gut as well to just force Muta out the corner. A beautiful setup. Maybe a beautiful ending. Up at top goes Muta. Nakamura follows him up there. Not a good place to be. As he goes for a ride, a superplex connects. Nakamura booting, delivering punishment. Misses the big shot. Muta fires back. Sends Nakamura into the corner. And he's calling for the kill. Hits the corner splash. Choking Nakamura. Our referee, he's telling him to stop. Not really getting involved there to break it though. Now, Nakamura's in the drop zone. Muta flies with the Muta press. Connects heavily. Goes for the pin. Nakamura's down for the count. And that is not going to be it. How in the world has Shinsuke kicked out of that? Nakamura, T-bone suplex. And this is just getting insane. Pinfall attempt. Muta's down. 1, 2. No. Kick out in time. But you've got to feel Nakamura's sizing him up for this. Kinshasa! Shot. Connects. And that's gonna be it. Well, we thought that Nakamura... Well, Muta deserved a shot at the champ, but after this performance from Shinsuke, it certainly levels him in a position to go after Abyss. Because right now, there aren't many better here in this TV division. After silencing the Great Muta here, rankings in this division must look very much like The Fiend in first, Nakamura into second, and then a few other guys sitting in third and fourth, but realistically, it isn't them who we have to keep our eyes on. It's obviously that bout between The Fiend and Abyss that will be happening soon.
Here is your winner, Shinsuke Nakamura!
Well, what a great performance here by Shinsuke, earning the W. But let's see if any more momentum can be found in our following bout, our following Eliminator. Well, these Eliminators are ramping up, because it's time for G.O.D.
The following contest is a tornado tag team match. a combined weight of 439 pounds, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the Bloodline.
Accompanied by Tala Tonga. Tama and Tongaloa fill the bloodline with the Tongan heritage. And now, working together, they have a potential chance to face next week the Motor City Machine Guns. And that will only happen if they beat this team. Well, it's Spooky Fingers time.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 357 pounds, Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, pretty deadly.
Prince and Wilson. Last time they were here in IPW, I messed up their names. And I probably still will do the same thing here. But yes, pretty deadly. Our other kind of lower tier team here tonight. You look at the LWO, you look at Pretty Deadly. Initially, they were scheduled to face one another. And then we would have had to have said goodbye to either A-Town Down Under or GOD. But this one is more of a feed about for GOD. Similar to how it's pieced for the LWO versus A-Town Down Under. No surprise results happen there. But this, there is potential for upset. Even with Tala Tonga at ringside. You just see how tall Tala Tonga is comparative to the other members of GOD. You can even see his head peeking through that middle rope there. Let's get it going here. Our second eliminator tonight. 2 more will be next week. It'll be the winners of this bout versus the Motor City Machine Guns, as well as the Headbangers versus A-Town Down Under, which we saw earn the Eliminator win in our opener tonight. But yes, as we ramp towards our big main event here, we've got to think about just how interesting this bout could be. Remember, GOD, very much brawlers, love to scrap with the opponents. And typically speaking, they bring a very profound style of just decimation. Now, you may have also just noticed Tala Tonga removing that top turnbuckle pad. And our referee is not moving to put it back on. To be honest, our referee, Big Man Gregathy, all he is being paid to do right now is stand still and watch these 4 specimens battle inside the ring. Now, Tongaloa brawling with Elton Prince, Kit Wilson punishing Tama Tonga. And hopefully, I've just got Pretty Deadly's names right. If not, we're in trouble. Chair in the hand of Kit Wilson, I believe. Oh, yes, I'm correct. Get in. Anyway, Tongaloa's flattened Elton Prince, and now Kit Wilson gonna eat a dropkick. The steel exposed ring off that top turnbuckle to provide some dividends there as it hits into Kit Wilson's sternum. Tongaloa now going to be battling with Elton Prince. Big side walk slam. Puts down Tongaloa as GOD have kind of been beaten up here pretty badly. Kit Wilson and now Elton Prince going to work over Tongaloa. Isolate a member of GOD. As, well, Talatonga watches on as Kit Wilson walks right past him. Elton Prince into the cover. Down for the count is Tongaloa. And it's a close fall there. Up to 2. Meanwhile, a wacky line on the outside connects from Kit Wilson. Meanwhile, Elton Prince misses a big shot inside the ring. Tongaloa going to fire back, but he eats a shoulder tackle from Kit Wilson. Tries to elevate up Tongaloa. Cannot do so. Talatonga protecting his tag. Well, his bloodline partner there eats the kendo stick shot for Tamatonga. Tongaloa hits the big shot here onto Kit Wilson. Gets the 2 count. Tama returns to the ring. Elton Prince going to capitalize and grab a hold of him. Kit Wilson eats a club blow into the pin. He goes as well. Tongaloa trying to get the win. Forces the kick out at 1. There's that exposed turnbuckle. Just paying dividends here for both teams. It's pretty deadly. Send Tongaloa crashing into it. Elton Prince once again just destroying Tamatonga. As for Tongaloa, it's pretty dire. There's a big running knee connects there from Kit Wilson. Elton Prince drops the leg. Talatonga forced to watch on. Finally, trying to throw some shots, trying to stop Kit Wilson, but inside the ring it's Elton Prince doing some big shots, doing some work there. Gets the 2 count. Forces the kick out. Tama sent running. Big shot misses. So is his. Instead, it's Elton Prince just mounting some punches onto his opponent. And on the outside, Talatonga bailing out Tongaloa, allowing for him to come in, kick Elton Prince, stop the pinfall. And he's gone running. Code breaker, though. This has been pretty deadly. From minute 1 here, is GOD, I would say, on the verge of losing this battle. And considering they are touted as favorites, Talatonga biding time. Tama can't stop it. And he's going to get a big European uppercut to the skull for it. Finally, Tama getting on the offensive. Hits that neck breaker. But he eats a big boot from Elton Prince. Pinfall attempt. Down for the count. The referee goes slowly and gets the count. Upset. Victory number 1 in this title eliminator. It's going to be Motor City Machine Guns versus Pretty Freaking Deadly. My word. I mean, I am shocked at this one, to be honest, folks. No one expected Pretty Deadly to win this. But you've got to say, Tamatonga looked weak. He looked out of it during this performance. Tongaloa didn't fare too much better, but did land some big shots of his own. Pretty Deadly, perfect position to perfectly execute and pick up the win. Tamatonga eats that big boot. And that sealed the deal. Tongaloa was already on the receiving end of some punishment from Elton Prince.
Here are your winners, Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Pretty Deadly.
A big victory here for Prince and Wilson. Can they ride this momentum into next week's Eliminator? We shall see. It's time for a bit of an epic battle with the former mixed tag champion in the house. Get ready for the World Championship division to be in action. It's gonna be awesome.
The following contest is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring, residing in Hollywood, California, weighing in at 221 pounds, The Miz!
Well, what more could be said than this is The Miz's chance at the top division. Obviously, down the rabbit hole, we crowned a new champion for the first time in a long time. A man who isn't either Samoa Joe, Shawn Michaels, or Will Ospreay. Oh, no. I tell a lie. Cody Rhodes was in that run of... well, but yeah, that's not in that sort of repertoire. But now the hounds are barking here in the Primetime Arena.
And his opponents, first from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Braun Breaker!
As Breaker looks to be set free and set on a warpath of conquest towards the World Heavyweight Championship. There'll be a battle of the spears if he were to earn the shot. But this matchup's more of a teaser towards our tag team championship bout that we will be cashing out on at our live event. Because the idea of that match is a triple threat tag team battle. It is warfare beyond reasonable doubt, and this is one of them moments. Carnage, warfare, and a whole lot of pain and blood scattered around the ring. Now it's time for me to take over Alicia Taylor's job. Because this man is here to make a golden shower.
And from Japan, weighing in at 235 pounds, Carden!
For he is known as the Rainmaker. Kazuchika Okada is a man that has sort of tried to find his footing here in IPW. As the money starts to fall, the Rainmaker certainly bringing some unique style into IPW whenever he's fought. He is very cocky, very confident in his performances. As well, the fireworks go off for him. And the money continues to fly. We know he is very much a top performer here. this triple threat bout, you've got a former champion and two rising stars here in IPW who will be almost certainly in the title picture for years to come. Wily veteran The Miz, the former mixed tag champion, taking it to Okada here to start this battle off. Now he fires a nice little shot onto Breakker, but Breakker too quick, too wise to net. Fires back and tosses Miz for a little ride. Big DDT there from Okada. He's now shooting his shots. Sends the Miz running and now turns his attention. Discus forearm, dropping Breakker inside the ring. Okada, we know, very much a calculated performer. Gets a shot delivered to the back of his skull there by the Miz. Side Russian leg sweep connects through. As the Miz is just flying about. Does well there to take down Breakker with that shot. As Okada sends Miz flying. But Breakker, capitalizing on Okada's maneuver, takes him with a backdrop suplex. Now Breakker double underhook. Oh, vicious there. Thought he was going to go Tiger Driver. Instead, it's just more of a backbreaker from the double underhooks. Okada plants Sister Abigail onto Breakker. He's caught though now by the Miz with a neck breaker. Drops him to the mat and now Miz takes the back but can't follow up as Breakker's firing back with a big shot. Sends the Miz running. Pop up. Frankensteiner. Big clothesline from hell though from Okada as he baits him in to go for the big shot. Okada caught. Clubbing blow to the chest. Ducks the line. Takes it up, down, boom, big DDT, busts open Breakker. This is why these three are competing. They bring the energy from out of nowhere, and they can deliver high-octane offense. Okada, massive uppercut. Miz, swinging neck breaker. Dropping his opponent. And you always look at the Miz, you think, he's the type of guy that can sneak about, be a bit of a weasel. But you cannot doubt that he has accomplished a lot in his career by being in the right place at the right time. And in this sort of matchup, it certainly favors him. The ability to just come in when he is needed to steal the victory. But right now, Breakker is the one in control. Sends Okada running. Spear no misses. Okada launches him to one side. Keeps himself alive, but he does eat a Saito from The Miz. The Miz caught now by Breakker, though. Uh-oh. Yeet! Out to the ringside goes The Miz. As Okada also rolls out. It's only Breakker inside. And he knows that he does not need to get involved in this situation. He is the freshest man. He is the man that, well, does not need to get involved in a petty brawl. But that's a Rainmaker. And Okada collecting maybe a skull. He drills Braun with that shot. As the first big finisher actually connects from the Rainmaker. Breakker obviously missed that spear as a Michinoku driver drills the Miz into the mat, but he's going to go for a roll-up here. Breakker stomps the count. Eats a swinging neck breaker for his effort, though. Now the Miz caught. Uh-oh. I thought Alabama, but no, it's a neck breaker from Okada. The Rainmaker is starting to whittle down his opponents, controlling the ring. Beautiful drop kick. One of Okada's best maneuvers, and uh-oh. Skull and Bones locks in Breakker, trapping him. Outstanding kick to the butt. Exposed shot. Ebb and flow. DDT. Takes another man again. Busts open The Miz this time. Carter has split the skulls of 2 of his opponents. The only person not bleeding is himself. Now it comes down to The Miz and Breakker to maybe team up here to beat the Rainmaker. But this might not be beating the Rainmaker as the Psycho knee connects. Okada not going to connect. Instead, it's The Miz grabbing hold of the Rainmaker. Puts him on the ropes. Uh-oh. Sends him to the outside. This is not a good place to be. The Miz looking to fly. Miz connects with the boots. Breakker with the steel steps. Can't connect. Instead, it is The Miz firing big shots. Gut punch. Hooks him up. And face busters him out. It looked like Breakker's head hit the side of the stairs there. I could be mistaken. Carter eats the chair and he's finally busted open. You must bleed if you want the championship. You must put your body on the line. Well, these 3 are certainly showing why they deserve to be in the title picture. As a figure 4 leg lock applied. Miz forced to break it as Breakker hits the standing moonsault. Goes for the pin onto Okada. Okada was just locked up in that submission. Able to kick out though. Eyes on The Miz, who's watching on the wily veteran, now setting up the it kicks as they come flying to the chest of Breakker. And there's the knockout shot. Okada caught picking up that kendo, and he is going to pay the price maybe. As Miz, no, not going to get the figure 4. Instead, it's Okada to his feet. A shot connects, and now the Rainmaker hits the snap German. Breakker now sent running. Put in the corner. The Rainmaker booting away. Punishing his opponents. This ring is his, and he is going to think it's time for a bit of a tombstone pile driver. Plants him down for the pin, but The Miz is there to break it up. Okada has put in a lot of big shots onto Breakker. And now he's putting a shot into The Miz. Running in, charging in, but caught by Breakker. Cannot capitalize on that. Instead, it's Breakker missing. Okada fighting back. Hits The Miz, and he's got him hooked up. Rainmaker! Breakker though, German! High elevation going for the pin. I would have certainly pinned The Miz, not Okada, but it doesn't matter. Because it only nets a 2 in the end, and well, the Rainmaker not going to be able to get back up for a while, and Breakker's going to hit that spine buster. Oh, scoop and a slam on the chair as the Rainmaker flies through with the lariat, planting Breakker on the center of the ring, forces him to kick out. Miz swinging neck breaker type maneuver. Puts down Okada. Finally gets back up, but Breakker's down and out. Miz flapjacking onto the kendo stick. You don't actually notice it because the ring ropes were blocking the view, but there, Okada's body hit the wood of that stick. Breakker forcing the chair out the ring. Gonna just toss The Miz with explosive impact. And now he's got Okada hooked up. Military press. Oh, Dominator. Lariat barely scraping The Miz, and now gonna pay. Backbreaker, neck breaker, vintage Miz. Kendo stick now in the hand of The Miz, but he eats a spear from Breakker. Cuts him in half. Okada's down, and that's not going to be it. Somehow, still alive as a clothesline from hell from Okada flattened Breakker. The attention certainly seems to be onto Braun as The Miz stuck in a corner. Finally out of it, and now he's going to make Okada pay for basically not giving him attention. The Hollywood star lining the Rainmaker up. Can't get the skull-crushing finale. No, he does. Hooks it in and plants Okada. Breakker's back up, though. Breaks the pin up. And The Miz now going to be in trouble. Frankensteiner from Breakker. Both his opponents down. Okada's staying down. The Miz isn't. Breakker. No, he's going to go for Okada. That's probably a mistake. Because Miz is now able to strike back. Breakker's not going to allow it. Hooks him up. Powerbomb position. Uh-oh. I thought maybe a powerbomb, but no, it's a swirly. Okada grabs a hold of Breakker. The referee getting in the way, stopping whatever Okada was looking for. Meanwhile, Breakker planting Okada. Kendo stick tossed. And that's a running SCO putting down Breakker. Which means it's trouble now for both Okada and Braun. Pinfall attempt here from The Miz onto Okada. Is he going to steal it? The answer's yes. Well, in a build-up to a title match, it's all about stealing the dub and biding your time. And The Miz certainly did that here in this battle. He lied in wait and struck when he needed to. As well, it was Braun and Okada who certainly hit some big shots. When The Miz struck, though, it was striking true and taking his opportunities. But that being said, Okada and Breakker certainly hit their big shots in perfect times. I just have a feeling, though, it was down to The Miz, really, in how this match ends. The skull-crushing finale, after just hitting Breakker, gave him the opportunity to eventually pin Okada when he least expected it.
Here is your winner, The Miz!
And The Miz is victorious here. The former Mixed Tag Champion rising up the World Heavyweight Championship rankings. With one bout left tonight, it's main event time, and the World Championship in the women's division is on the line.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the undisputed Women's World Championship.
Well, folks, it's time to saddle up. The champ is unaware of who she will be fighting tonight. But with the helicopter belt, the airplane wing can be formed, and the whirly bird sets her off on her path towards the ring. Behind her, as always, for these big match moments, the manager of Fatal Influence, Kiana James, ready to guide the double champ to victory. As Fallon Henley, as always, looks ready. Obviously, only one of the belts on the line tonight in the Undisputed Women's World Championship. As for her opponent, well, they're going to be looking to take one of her belts away, and Blake Monroe looking to take the other. As we finally get to see the big reveal of Henley's challenge as the role model looks to step up to the plate. Certainly an interesting opponent here for the champ. Bayley has been biding her time, and of the 4 horsewomen, someone that could potentially rival the champ. Remember, Mercedes Moné yet to have a shot at Henley. Both Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair have had that call, that chance to beat the double champ, but both have failed. Now it's time for the third of 4 horsewomen to maybe stake their claim and become new champ here in IPW. I've done a lot of talking in the build-up. Alicia Taylor, get us into this championship matchup. Official introductions on the way.
Introducing the challenger from San Jose, California, Bayley. And her opponent from Chelsea, Michigan, the undisputed Women's World Champion and the undisputed Women's Television Champion, Fallon Henley.
Only one belt required in the ring, as our referee lofts it into the air. The pressure is starting to hit the Primetime arena. 4 weeks, 4 title defenses. Can Fallon manage it? Let's find out as we get underway with the opener. Big right hands to kick this off. Bayley takes the back. Big German suplex to kick this off. Now, as we know, the champion, very wise, cocky in her style, loves to sort of bring it to her opponent by taking their own big maneuvers and utilizing them against them. Henley, we know, can really brawl for the days, and well, she's starting to do so now. Facebuster has already busted open Bayley, and this is a good start for the champion. Bit of blood early, certainly going to drain the life out of the challenger here, as well as potentially obscure their vision. In fact, looking at the blood trickling down the face of Bayley, it's going over that right eye. Could very much hinder that side of the face, hinder the vision, and really cause the challenger some harm. Kiana James, an early intervention into this match, is tossing the chair in play. Referee gonna remove it as Henley, oh, big shot out the corner. That springboard forearm smash just cleaving the face some more, doing more damage and potentially ripping up Bayley's face even further than it's already been damaged. A first collar and elbow tie-up sees the champion getting the better of it. The second, Bayley initiates. Well, the champ takes control. As expected, Henley sent running though. Kiana James getting involved. She just sauced Bayley, stopping her from landing the shot, and she's been kicked out already. Getting involved in this matchup, that's not good for her. Kicked out. And this is now a one-on-one. a little bit more fair for Bayley as she lands a big lariat. A nip up for the champion. But she's caught and scooped and slammed. This is turning into a role model favored situation. No Kiana James, no backup now. The cowgirl, the champion. And Bayley's fired up. The 2K comeback, but it's not a comeback. It's a spear in the corner. Oh, see ya. Connects with the splash. Shot connects. Bayley takes it back. Saito suplex sends the champion flying. Pinfall attempt early into this bout, but it's a lot of damage done to Fallon. But it's only a 1 count. The champion staying alive as Bayley fires some big shots. Dragon screw, leg whip there. And Henley needs to find an opportunity, but there's the Bayley to belly as the challenger is just rolling. Looking to end it here. The kick caught. The champ flattening the challenger. And at tempo, the pace that was quickened, well, it's staying a bit quick, but all that pressure that Bayley was putting on kind of countered, but that's a big shot. Powerbomb on the outside. Very minimal padding here on the floor. The champion's head comes gliding off of it, but the champ, pump handle, tossing Bayley across. This is eerily similar to her last match here for the champ as she tries to go for the Famouser but can't do so. A powerbomb is what she eats as the challenger climbing back in, a count of 8. The champion up at 9. Breaks the count. And now the challenger's going to rue the day as the boot eats the face. Boom, another to the chest. This is now where Fallon wants to be, going for the pin. Brushing the face with her arm. Nice crossbody there from the challenger. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. And a kick out by the champ, who's staying alive. Bayley keeping the pressure on, not slowing down after that pinfall. Now lining up the champion for something big. The kick caught though. Henley is too quick, too wise to what the challenger wants. Puts her in the corner. This could be a bad place to be. The challenger fights out of this situation though. Sends Henley running. Tries to flatten her, but can't do so. A big splash connects, and there's a Famouser. The champion unloading on the challenger. Up on the shoulders. And I've got a feeling Bayley's going to eat some rope. Pinfall attempt. The big maneuver was the Famouser. This gunstone was more of just a kind of a jolting maneuver to bait the expectation from Bayley. As the champion continuing to dissect now the challenger. Hicks connecting, and then she just takes her down. Shots to the belly. This is a lot of pressure applied to that stomach. Bayley's very much known for them big shots, but here comes that pump handle. Boom! No Bayley to belly can really be utilized if the champion keeps them up. But the champ doesn't care because it's hold down time. That's the shot she needs. Could that be enough to knock out Bayley and net the victory and a championship retain? Indeed, we could be seeing it as down for the count. The champ, no. Somehow, this bout continues on. The challenger kicking out in time. Challenger fighting back now. Trying to send, and does send vertical suplexing Henley over the top of her. Bayley really needs to land that rose plant if she is to become a new champion here in IPW. Hits the big knee there. Has the champion wobbly, lining her up on staggered feet. It's a champ. Big German suplex. Putting Fallon down, and now Bayley's looking to fly. Drops the axe and goes for the cover. This could be it. One? No. I don't know why I got my expectations up. The hope that Bayley had won the championship there, because that's not a kill shot. This is, though. Hold down connects. The champion into the cover. That has got to be it. And G retains here against Bayley. 1 of 4 championship bouts retained in. Fallon Henley's beaten one of the 4 horsewomen yet again. Bayley put on a showing, but she could not hit that rose plant. And that meant the champion had a field day. Had the opportunity to fire back with her big shots. And although Bayley landed that Bayley to belly, that rose plant did not follow. And instead, it's these pump handles that just sent Bayley flying. Allowed for the big shot here. The famous to connect. And then it's just history with 2 hoedowns. And the champion keeping 2 belts around her neck. And you have to think, this matchup was really just the champion. Kiana was ejected early. So really didn't play any vital impact in the match. Thus the champ won on her own here tonight.
Here is your winner, and still the undisputed Women's World Champion, Fallon Henley.
Well, the championships retained for the first of 2 world heavyweight title defenses here for Fallon Henley. One more exists in 2 weeks' time. Will she be able to retain then? We'll find out then, but next week she will be defending the TV title. We'll see how she does there. But until then, we've got Breakdown on Thursday night. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you then.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that stack, taking big